Guys, order of operations, okay? So we're talking about the PEMDAS rule or the BODMAS rule, okay? Parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. We're working from the left to the right, as well as knowing that we have an exception of the rule. Whenever you're dealing with multiplication and division, whichever comes first, from the left to right, that's the one you have to do first. And then when it comes to subtraction and addition, the one that comes first from the left to the right as well. That's it. All right. So let's go. We have 3 questions here. All right. Question A, B, and C. Okay. And A is what? Absolute value of 2 squared minus 5 minus 3 squared over negative 5 plus 3. So we're dealing with absolute values here. We're dealing with square, which is exponents, okay? And then, of course, we have here and there some sign numbers to deal with, okay? So let's go for it. Now, the first one, so what do we have to do? We always got to go inside if we have parentheses or if we have absolute values. In this case, if there's anything to do inside, we got to go for that first. So let's go for it. So 2 squared is going to give us what? So 2 squared is just the same thing as having 2 times 2. All right? Minus 5. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking time to work on these problems here. Minus 3 squared is 3 by 3. Okay? So I put the parentheses because the subtraction sign is outside. Okay, so the problem didn't come with the negative sign, then square. So that's the reason why you separate the sign from the from the 3 by 3. Okay, so this one is over. Now, we have 2 numbers here that we can combine, together straight up. We don't need to wait. So we have negative 5 plus 3. So one number is negative, the other is positive. What do? We automatically subtract and keep the sign of the highest number, right? So we subtract 3 from 5, which is 2. And then which one carries the sign? The highest number is negative. So we have negative 2. So whichever carries, the highest number, we pick up the sign from there. Okay? So that's negative 2. Now let's keep going. So then 2 by 2 we know is 4 minus 5. The absolute value is back. Okay? Minus 3 by 3 is what? 9. Okay? We all good so far? So now over negative 2. So we just keep going. What is 4 minus 5? Negative 1, because again here, you have 2 numbers. One is a positive number, which is 4, and the other one is negative number, which is 5. So you automatically do what? Subtract and keep the sign of the highest number. So we subtract from 4 from 5, which is 1. And what's the sign of the highest number again? The highest number is 5, so that's negative. Here's what we have. And then minus 9 over negative 2. Now, we're talking about absolute value. So what happens with the absolute value? Because that's a negative 1, it's going to become positive 1. Because when you have a negative number inside the absolute value bars, whenever it comes out, it becomes a positive number. All right? If it's a positive already, it stays positive. It does not change. So this one becomes what? Negative 1, negative 9 over negative 2. All right? And then what is negative 1, negative 9? Both numbers carry the same sign. Whenever they carry the same sign, what do? You add and you keep the sign. So we're going to add 1 and 9, which is 10. All right? Sorry here. So this one is positive 1. My bad. So this one is positive 1, okay, instead of negative 1. And then positive 1, negative 9 is going to give you what? Negative 8. So negative 8, negative 2. Underneath. So now we divide in 2 numbers. They carry the same sign, negative sign, so it's going to give you what? Positive. Negative divided by negative is always a positive number. So that will give us what? 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that will give us positive 4. And this is our final answer. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be very careful. Like how we make that, slight mistake here. You cannot do that. So that's why you also need to have time whenever you do your problem. Take 1 minute, go back, check it to see if you're doing it right or wrong. At this point, I'm sure that we did it wrong, so we don't need to go back. All right? So let's go with question B here. Okay? So you have square root of negative 5 to the second power minus 3 plus 14 divided by 19 minus 6 plus 3 minus 25 in absolute value. Okay, so here we have square root to deal with, so the radical. We also have the power to deal with. We have sign numbers to deal with. We have absolute values to deal with. So how very important this problem is, okay, as you guys can see. So let's go for it. All right. So we go under the radical and we do what we got to do as always. So we're taking our time right now, okay? We're taking our time step by step. So we go -5 times -5. All right? Then -3 plus 14. And then I bring back the square root. This is over. Then we have this problem there. So we can always begin to do the operation here. Why not, right? Because we can. So we can, like I said already, we're going to take it one at a time. So 19 minus 6 is going to give us what? 13. And then we bring down the 3. We bring down the -25. And then the absolute value. Are we good so far? Okay. So this one is equal to what? So -5 times -5 is going to give us what? Positive 25. So we have positive 25. We bring down the -3. We bring down the positive 14. And that's it. Now we can choose again, work on something in here. So that means 13 plus 3 is what? 16 minus 25. And we bring down again the absolute value. So what's happening here? So 25 minus 3 is going to give us what? It's going to give us 22. So again, like I said, knowingly, we're going one at a time. Okay? We are not rushing right now. So 25 minus 3 is going to give us what? 22 plus 14 and square root of that over what is 16 minus 25? It's -9, right? -9 with the absolute value. So we keep going. So what is 22 plus 14? 36 underneath the radical. So that's 36 over. Now, what is -9 absolute value? We just worked on something like that over here. Okay? So -9 absolute value is going to give us what? It's going to give us +9. So +9. And then here, what is square root of 36? Is 6 over 9. And then we can now simplify. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you're dealing with fractions, you always got to reduce it to the lowest term, unless the instruction is saying something different. Otherwise, if the instruction doesn't say anything, they say just compute, calculate, do the operation, you have to always go to the lowest terms, okay? So that means what? What's the number that can divide 6 and 9 evenly here? It's 3, right, everybody? So it's 3. So 3 can go into 6 twice, and 3 can go into 9 3 times. And ladies and gentlemen, you are finished. You have 2 over 3. All right, so that's for question B. So let's go for question C. We have square root of 6 to the second power minus 3 to the second power minus 2 divided by -3 to the second power minus 4. So we have square root here, the radical that we're dealing with. We also have powers in there to deal with. Okay, so let's go for it. All right, so this one is equal to what? So we go under the radical and then we work things out. Meaning what? 6 squared, so that's 6 times 6. Okay, and then for this one minus, that would be also 3 by 3. The minus sign is outside, as you guys can see again. All right, so it's not inside, but it's outside. And then minus 2 over, so -3 times -3. You guys can see the difference now between the two of them. So 3 by 3, negative sign out, -3 times -3, because the -3 here, ladies and gentlemen, is inside the parentheses and raised to the second power. Not the same case here. The negative sign is outside. Only 3 is squared. We make that mistake a lot of times. I've seen this time and time again where people make mistakes sometimes because we're going fast and then we make that kind of mistake, okay? So let's go for it and do not forget about the square root, all right? So 6 by 6 is what? Is 36 minus what is 3 by 3? 9 minus 2, square root it over -3 times -3. That gives us +9 minus 4. So in this case, you're dealing with negative 36 minus 9 minus 2. Somebody can choose to do what? Combine the two negative signs first because they have the same signs, and then subtract whatever you get out of 36, or do 36 minus 9 and then minus 2 afterwards. Now, in this case, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to combine these two first, all right? Because then I have 36. So both carry the same sign. What do? We add and we keep the sign. So it's going to be 9 plus 2, right, which is 11. So that gives us negative 11 because both carry the same sign. So we keep that sign. 9 minus 4 is going to give us what? 5. And then do not forget about the square root. So now what is 36 minus 11? Simple. 25, right? So that is square root of 25 over 5. Okay? Same thing, if you decided to do 36 minus 9, that will give you what? 27. And 27 minus 2 will give you 25. It's just the same thing, different ways. Now, what is square root of 25 equal to? 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. So we're dealing with 5 divided by 5. That will give us what? 1, ladies and gentlemen. And 1 is your final answer for question C. So guys, look at the problems again. Go back, check them out. These are very interesting problems when it comes to order of operations for you guys to practice. Very good one, right? And also, guys, do not forget about liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Prof. Kamlavi Math for Fun. All right? Take care.